In Module 3, we are going to learn about arrays. We'll learn about both 1 and 2 dimensional arrays. In this session, we'll learn what is an array, how to declare and initialize an array, accessing elements in an array, reading and displaying array contents, and programs using array like find the largest number, search for a number, and sort the elements in an array. So we'll see what is an array. So array is defined as the collection of similar type of data items stored at contiguous memory locations. Let's assume we want to store the marks for 5 subjects. So instead of declaring individual variables such as marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, we can declare one array variable such as marks and use the index to access the specific element in an array. So the first element will be stored at an position 0. So mark 0 has the first element and last element is stored at 1 less than the size of the array. So if there are if the array size is 5, then the last element would be stored at position 4. The syntax for declaring the array is data type, array name, and array size in square brackets. So the example, int marks in square bracket 5. This declare an integer array of size 5 and named as marks. So it allocates 5 locations in memory starting from index 0 to 4 of data type integer. Arrays are the derived data type in C programming, and it can store primitive data types such as int, char, double, float, etc. And also it can store collection of derived data types such as pointers, structures, etc. Array is a data structure where each data element can be randomly accessed by using its index number. The array of characters is called string. So the array contains the following properties. Each element of an array is of same data type. Elements of array are stored at contiguous memory locations. And elements of an array can be randomly accessed using its index. And the array can be easily traversed using the for loop. The disadvantage of array is the size is fixed and the size of the array is defined at the time of declaration. For an array in C, a programmer specifies the type of the elements and the number of elements required by an array. So the syntax is data type, array name, and array size in square brackets. And the array size must be an integer constant greater than 0 and type can be any valid C data type. This type of declaration is used to declare a single dimension array. So the examples are int marks of 5. So this declares an integer array of size 5. Int a 100. So this declares an integer array of size 100. Float temp 20 declare a 20 element array called temp of type float. Next, initializing an array. The simplest way to initialize an array is by using the index of each element. We can initialize each element of the array by using the index. For example, marks in square bracket 0 equal to 40. So this assign value 40 to the position 0 of marks array. Marks in square bracket 1 equal to 38. So this assign the value as the second element in the marks array. And so we can initialize the C array at the time of declaration. So we can declare like this: int marks in square brackets 5 equal to, in curly brackets, 40 comma 35 comma 42 comma 46 comma 37. So this assigns 5 values in marks array from position 0 to 4. If we are initializing the array at the time of declaration, then there is no requirement to give the size. Hence, we can also declare like this: int marks open square bracket close square bracket equal to, in curly brackets, 40 comma 35 comma 42 comma 46 comma 37. So here we have declared the array marks and we have assigned 5 elements. Hence this array will be declared of size 5. The elements in an array can be accessed using index or subscript. The number is specified in square bracket along with the array name. So in this example, to display third element in the marks array, so we can specify it as marks in square bracket 2, and this corresponds to value 42 in the marks array. So we have seen how we initialize the array and access the elements in an array using the index number. So in all those examples, what we have seen is the array name and the syntax, everything is same, and the only thing that keep changing is the index number. So index number changes from 0 to n minus 1. So if there are 5 elements, index number changes from 0 to 4. And any value can be accessed using specifying the index number. Hence, reading the array and accessing the elements in array can be implemented using a loop, and we'll see how this can be done using for loop. So in this case, let's assume A is an integer array of size some size greater than n, and n is the number of elements required in the array. So while declaring the array, we need to specify a size. So that would be reasonable size which is larger than the number of elements you want to keep in the array. So in the for loop, we have a counter I equal to 0. So the index positions starts from 0 to n minus 1. So in the for, we'll mention I equal to 0, starting 0, then I less than n. So that's the condition to check, and we increment the value of counter. And what we do, for reading the array, we have to use the scanf function, and inside the square bracket we give the counter as the index value. So the value of I varies from 0 to n minus 1. Similarly, to access the data elements in the array, so this loop can be useful accessing sequentially from 0 to n minus 1. So while printing, we have specified as A in square bracket I is the loop counter, and it varies from 0 to n minus 1. So that way we can access each element present inside the array. Next, we will see a program to read and display an array. In this program, we have declared an integer array of size 100 and two variables of data type int. I is used as the loop variable and n is used as the number of elements in the array. First we will ask to input the number of elements required in the array, and this value is stored in variable n. Next, using a loop from I equal to 0 to n minus 1, we'll read the values to be stored in the array. So it asked prompt the user to enter the value at each position. Next, we are displaying the contents of the array again using the loop, which varies from I equal to 0 to I less than n, that is up to n minus 1, and we are displaying the content of the array. So the output of the program is displayed in the screen. Let's trace the execution of this program. So in the debug window, I have added all the variables used in this program, and we'll see how the value of the variable change as part of the execution. So the execution started. So it's prompting the user to enter number of elements in the array. So I entered 5 as the number of elements in the array. Next, it enters the for loop. So inside the for loop, first it will display the statement as enter the value at position 0. So I is starting from 0. Initial value of I is 0 and n is entered as 5. So it varies from 0 to 4. So it reads the value from the input. It's entered as 3. So the value at first position has become 3. So if you see this variable a, the value at first position 0 has become 3. So next, continue the execution. It's prompting for the next element. So entered as 6. The value at position 1 has become 6. Again asking for the next element, position 2, entered as 8, and in the array variable, so 8 is entered as third element at position 2. Next, position 3 is 9, continuing. Position 4, this is the last element, is entered as 2. So now we have entered 3, 6, 8, 9, 2 as input, and if you see the debug window, inside array A we have the elements 3, 6, 8, 9, 2 from position 0 to 4. Now we are going to display the contents of the array. So once that statement is entered, the execution enters into the for loop. The value of I becomes 0 and it start displaying one by one. So after the first execution, it shows I equal to 0. So a of 0 is 3. Next, it displays I equal to 1. A of 1 is 6. Next, I become 2. A of 2 is 8. Continuing, I become 3. A of 3 is 9. I become 4. A of 4 is 2. So when I become 4, so that is less than n, and on increment it comes out of the loop. So I has become 5, and 5 less than n is false, and it breaks the loop, and thus the execution gets completed. So now we'll see like the values in each position inside the array is accepted and displayed on the screen. Next program is to search for a number in an array and display its position. So if we are able to find that number in the array, then we need to display as the number is present at this position in the array. If we are not able to find the number, then display as the number is not present in the array. So first we'll declare an array of some size. Then we have to declare an variable search to show whether the search is success or fail. Next step is to input from the user as number of elements required in the array, and based on that number we have to accept the values from the user and store that values in the array. Next we'll ask the user to input the search value. So this is the value we are trying to locate inside the array. So we'll use a loop, for loop, and traverse through the array and check whether the element is present in the array. If we are able to find the element, then we'll set the search variable as 1 and we'll immediately break the loop. So if the search variable is 1, that means we are able to find the element inside the array, and the corresponding index will give the position of that variable in the array. So now we will see the program to find the number in the array and its position. So this is the program to find the number in an array and display its position. I will explain the program as we execute the steps. So first we have declared an array A of type integer and the size is given as 10. So it will declare an array of 10 elements. Then we have I of data type int and it is used as the loop counter. N is the number of elements required in the array. C is the search value. And we have declared a variable search and initialized it as 0. So this variable is used to check whether we are able to find the element in the array or not. So as we execute, first we will read the number of elements required in the array. So we'll ask the user to enter the number of elements in the array. So I'm going to enter it as 4. So we need to read 4 values from the user. So we are starting with I equal to 0 and we are reading the first value. So then I is incremented as 1. We are going to read the second value which gets stored at the position 1. Next we are going to read the third value and I is 2. Next we are going to read the fourth value which gets stored at the third position in the array. Now we have read all the 4 elements and which is stored in the first 4 positions in the array. Now we are asking the user to enter the search value. So we are prompting the user to enter the search value. I'm going to give 34 as the search value. So 34 is the value we are trying to find in this array. So next we are using a loop. We are initializing I as 0 and we'll see whether each element is same as the search value. So value is to find is 34, which is stored in the variable C. So first we'll see a of I and I is of 0. So we'll see whether a of 0 is same as C. A of 0 is 67 and C is 34. It is not same, hence it is not entering the if block. It again went back to the 4. So now I has incremented to 1. Now it will see a of 1 is equal to C. C is 34 and a of 1 and C are the same, so it enters the if block and it set search as 1, search equal to 1. Since we found the element inside the array, we are breaking the loop. So we have used the break statement and we came out of the for loop. Now we will see the value of search. If search equal to 1, so we have the value of search as 1, hence it is entering the if block and it is displaying the value. So we'll see it displays as value 34 is present at position 1 and it completes the execution of the program. Now we will execute this program once again and see what if the element is not found inside the array. So I'm going to execute this program again. So it is asking the user to enter number of elements in the array. So this time I've entered it as again as 4. And we are going to read values at each position one by one. So first position it is position 0 is 77. Next I has become 1. So this is the value at second position. I have entered it as 66. I has become 2 and we are going to read the third element 44. I has become 3 and we are going to read the fourth element. Entered it as 88. So now I and 4 become the same and we have completed reading all the 4 elements. Now we are asking the user to enter the search value. So search value I am entering it as 33 and from this we know that the value 33 is not present in the array. So let's see how the code executes. So now it enters the loop. I is 0. It checks whether a of 0 is same as C. C is 33. A of 0 is 77. It is not the same. Hence it's not entering the block. It went back and incremented the value of I. So I has become 1. Now it will check whether a of I is same as C. C is 33. It is not the same. It's again went back to the loop. I is incremented 2. Now it will check whether a of 2 is equal to 33. A of 2 is 44, which is not the same. It's went back to loop again and incremented the value of I is 3. So it will check for the value a of 3. A of 3 is not the same as 33. So again increments once again, and now I has become 4. So now we have checked all the 4 elements that we have entered into the array. If you see, the value of search is still 0 because we are not able to find the value inside the array. So now the program executes if search equal to 1. Is it true? No, search is 0. Hence it goes to the else block. In the else block it displays value is not present in the array. So in the screen it shows value 33 is not present in the array. So we have seen like if the search is successful, how the program behaves, and if search is unsuccessful, how it executes. Next program is to find the largest element in an array. First we'll declare an array of some fixed size. Then we'll declare two variables, large and position, to keep track of the largest element and its position. We'll ask the user to input the number of elements required in the array. Then based on the number of elements, we'll read the values into the array. So we'll assume first element in the array as the largest element. So we set large as first element in the array and its position as 0. Now using for loop, we'll traverse through the array and check whether the value present in the current position is larger than the value present in the variable. So we have a of 0 in the variable, and then we'll check whether a of 1 is larger than value present in the variable. If it is larger, then we'll assign that value to the variable, and what we'll do, we'll store that position in that variable also. So large will have the value from the array, and index position will be stored in the position variable. Once we have gone through the loop completely, we will have the largest value in the variable and its index value in the position variable. Now we'll display the values present in this variable. We'll see the program now. This is the program to display the largest number present in the array and its position. So we'll declare an array, integer array A. I is the loop counter. N is the number of elements required in the array. Large is the variable used to capture the largest number, and position is the variable used to keep track of its position. First we'll ask the user to enter the number of elements required in the array. So it is prompted in the screen. I have entered it as 5. Now we'll go through the loop. So we'll read the first value to be stored at position 0. So it's entered as 4. 44. So now the value of I is incremented to 1. So we are going to read the value at position 1. That is 88. Next we are going to read the third element, 22. Next we are going to read the fourth element, 25. We are going to read the fifth element. Fifth element is 75. So we have read all the 5 elements. N is 5 and I is also, has also become 5. So we have read all the 5 elements. Now we'll assign first element as large. So large is set as 44 and its position is set as 0. Now what we need to do? We need to go through this array and see whether any other large number present in the array. So we are starting from I equal to 1 because a of 0 is already assigned in the large variable. So we are going from starting from I1 up to n minus 1. So we have to see 4, we have to check next 4 elements. So I is 1, a of 1, we'll check whether a of 1 is greater than large. A of 1 is 88, 88 is greater than large. Is it true? Yes, it is true. So now we'll assign large as 88. So value of large become 88 and its position index value is stored in the position variable. So 188 value is 88 and its position is 1, that is stored in the position variable. Now we increment the value of I as 2. Now we'll check whether a of 2 is larger than 88. False. So it not entered the then block, instead it went back to the loop. So now I is incremented as 3. So now we'll see a of 3. A of 3 is 22. Is 22 greater than large? Large is 88. False. So it not entered the then loop. I is incremented as 4. Now a of 4. A of 4 is 25. Is 25 greater than large? False. So it is not going to enter the then block. Instead it goes to the for loop. Now I is incremented as 5. So we have checked all the 5 elements and we are going to display the largest number which is present in the variable large and its position is present in the position variable. So I execute. Largest number is 88 and its position is 1. So we have traversed through the array using the for loop and we have checked whether each number is larger than its previous value, and based on that we are able to find the largest number present in the array. Next, a program to sort an array in ascending order. Here we will declare an array of some fixed size. So we need to know how many elements are required in the array, which is read as input. Then we'll read the values into the array. Here a nested loop is used to compare each element to all the elements present in the array. If the element is greater than the element present below it, then they are interchanged. So this continues, and after executing the nested loop, the array will be sorted in ascending order, and we will display that array as the result. So this is the program to sort an array in ascending order. So here we have variables, an integer array of size 5. I and j are used as loop counter. N is used to read the number of values, and temp is used to swap the values. First we'll read the number of values required in the array. This is a input by the user. So I'll give the number of elements as 5. Now we have to read the values into the array. So we're reading the first value, which is at position 0. Then the value of I is incremented to 1 We are reading the second value. This is position 1. Next, we are again loop continues. We are reading the third element, says position 2. So we're going to read the fourth element. And next we are going to read the fifth element, which is at position 4. So now we have read 5 elements. The value of I become 5 and the n is also 5. So next we are going to use a nested loop. So we'll go through the array. For every element in the outer loop, we'll check the inner loop to see whether it is larger or not. So I became 0, j also becomes 0 if a of I is less than a of j. A of I is 7, 0, a of 0, and a of j is also 0. 7 less than 7 false and it continues, j become 1. So now it will compare 7 and 4. So whether 7 is less than 4. So 7 is less than 4? No, false. So it continues. Now j become 2 and it will check whether I is still 0. So 7 is less than 3. It's again false. Continues. Next j become 3. Now it will compare between 7 and 2. False. It continues. So now j become 4 and I is still 0. 7 is compared with 6. It's again false. So now we have completed the inner loop. J is less than 4 is now become n is now 5 and j is 4. So next iteration it will j become 5 and it came out of the loop. Now I is incremented as 1 and j is set as 0. Now it will check a of I, that is a of 1 less than a of j. A of 1 is 4, a of 0 is 7. 4 less than 7, j has the value 0 and I has the value 1. So it checks a of 1 less than a of 0. 4 less than 0, 4 less than 7, which is true. So it will interchange the values, the position, values at position 0 and 1. So 7, 4 becomes 4, 7. So the next j is incremented as 2. Now it will check a of 1, I is 1 and j also 1. A of 1 less than a of j, that is 7. So it is false. Now j is incremented to 2. Now it will check a of 1 is less than a of 2. A of 2 is 3. It is false. So it continues. It continues for all the other elements in the array. So it will continue for a of I 1, j 3. 7 and 2 are compared. False. Next a of I first position and fourth position 6 are compared. False. Now it will complete the loop because j become 5 and j less than n is false. Now it comes to the outer loop. Now value of I get incremented again. So I became 2. J become 0. So now it checks a of I is less than a of j. So now A of 2. A of 2 is 3. 3 less than A of j is A of 0 is 4. 3 less than 4, true. It will swap the elements at position 0 and 2. So 4, 3 become 3, 4. So when you swap, 4, 3 becomes 3, 4. Now value of j is again incremented to 1. Now it will check 2 and 1. I is 2, that is 4 and 1. So a of 2, j a of 1. 4 and 1 is checked, 4 is less than 7. So now we need to interchange the positions, values at positions 2 and 1 and 2. So we are sending to a temp and we are interchanging the values. So 7 4 became 4 7. Now j is incremented to 2. So now it is going to check elements at position a of 2 and a of 2, which is the same. Now j is incremented to 3. Now we check elements at position 2 and 3. So 7 and 2. These two elements are compared. Values at positions 2 and 3. So it completes that loop, that this execution continues. This execution continues until both I and j become 5. So that means it has covered all the elements in the array. Now if you are saying the array is in the sorted order. So we are going to display this array in the output screen. So it's again using a for loop. It starts from I equal to 0 and going to display all the 4 elements present in the array. So just display the first element. In the next iteration I become 1. Just separate second element. So it's displaying the third element, showing the fourth element, and finally displayed the last element. So now the value of I has become 5, and this loop check condition 5 less than n is also 5. So it is false and it has come out of the loop. So this is the way the array get sorted in the ascending order. So in this tutorial we have discussed about the array and we have seen how to declare, initialize and access elements in an array, and we have seen the programs to find the largest number, search an element in an array, and to sort an array in ascending order.